Hello everyone, welcome to William and the Magic Box. Today on our show, we are going to have Ollie. Ollie is from Montreal in Canada. So let's see what Ollie has to say. Enjoy the interview. Hello.
Hello, how are you?
Hello, very well. How are you, Olivier?
I'm good, thank you.
Very
Thanks
good.
for coming.
The pleasure is all mine. Should I call you Olivier or Ollie?
You can call me Ollie, it's fine.
Ollie, amazing. Yeah. Ollie, tell me where you're from.
Well, I'm actually from Montreal, Quebec in Canada, but I now live in Vancouver, British Columbia in Canada as well.
Wow, it's a big difference, far away.
It is, but it's fun. Like I love to be able to live and work in both of these amazing places in the country.
Actually, I just came back from Montreal 4 weeks ago.
Oh, really? What were you doing there?
Yes, my best friend, he lives there. And so I spent Christmas and New Year's Eve as well.
Oh, I was there too.
Were you?
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's amazing. So yeah, my best friend lives there and he had a baby 2 years ago and I'm the godfather. So I went to meet him for the very first time.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, congratulations to your friend.
Thank you. It's the third time I've been there, but the first time on winter time. So it was amazing. It was good fun.
Oh, good. That's awesome.
Besides the lockdown, the third first.
Yeah. Well, it's a little cold there in the winter, but you got to make the most of it. Well, that's what I like about it there, though, is that even if it's winter, there's always something so fun to do and something happening. Like maybe not as these days, but like normally, like there's such a, as I say, joie de vivre around Montreal that like even like Christmas time or the holiday season or no matter what you celebrate, it's always just so magical.
Absolutely. Ollie, tell me, what do you do for a living?
So I do many things for a living. I'm a visual artist. That's, I would say, one of my main things. I'm also an educator. I'm a teacher. I also do some reporting and some columns about 2S LGBTQIA issues, so like on television or on radio.
I see. And what do you teach?
I actually teach grade 5.
Oh, amazing.
I teach little kids. I mean, little kids. They're not so little anymore, but I love to be a teacher, actually. It's a very rewarding job. I like to be inspired by kids. I think it's very important that we listen to our youth. And I think it's a big inspiration as well for everything that I do in all the other fields.
Amazing. Okay, Ollie, so through the game, I'm going to explore a little bit more about your career as a teacher, about your arts as well, and about your life. And are you ready to go on a beautiful journey through your memories in life and to share your point of views?
Okay, sounds good.
Welcome to William and the Magic Box. So I have here my lovely box. Full of random fun questions, okay? I'm just gonna play a song now just for us to move a little bit before the first question.
Okay, sounds good.
Let's do it. Right, Ollie. Yes, you can help me dancing for sure.
I love that song. It was so like, oh my goodness, it's like my morning workout right there.
Amazing. Okay, Ollie, so through the journey, if there is a question that you don't want to talk about for some reason, you don't want to answer, I always can change, okay? It's all very friendly.
Sounds good.
First question for you is, what season of the year you feel more connected with and why?
Ooh, what season? I actually, right now, I'm quite digging spring. I think I love spring. I think it's such a feeling of revival. Like I like every single season for a reason, but there's something about spring. I feel the nature inspires me. It inspires my art. It's always the season where I usually release my new collection. It's like if in the winter, like I think about it, but the spring, I always have that like aha moment that I get super excited and I have like my idea from like running in the woods or like planting flowers or gardening, but I don't know, there's something magical about spring to me.
Is your birthday around springtime as well?
No, I'm actually in the dead of winter. I was the baby of the year I was born, just a few years ago. No, I was born in January. So no, I have no connection to the spring, but maybe I was conceived in the spring. Most likely I was conceived in the spring, and 9 months later, here I was.
Cool. Next question. Before the next question, Oli, tell me about your art. How did it start? How the art came into your life? How it started your career?
Oh, I think you don't really start an artist's career. I think you are an artist, and it just happens and it flourishes, and it's how you take it and twist it. So I would say my journey started, I went to art school in college in Montreal when I was 17, 18. I just wanted to have a full break from my high school experience. You know, as somebody who is in a queer community, like there's been ups and downs, especially back in the days, still today. So there's still issues that we need to really focus on for everybody. But I think going to art was really therapeutic for me. And I think it connected many dots that were missing in my life. And I think I created the best memories. I connected with my community. I made friends that I'm still friends with today. But over time, you know, like I moved to Vancouver, I decided to study to become a teacher. And then 1 year I decided like, you know, I'm not busy enough. So let's do a master's degree. And I went in and did my master's degree in media education. And I think it's by doing something related to the teacher world, but then touching that creative part of me, that I was like, you know what, I really miss this. Because for the longest time, I kind of felt like something was missing. And it's that day that like I decided to really bring back the arts, but actually make it something that was gonna have like a prime feature in my life. So that's kind of like how my career started, where I actually put myself out there as an artist, showing my work in galleries, where before that, it was more the feeling of doing art that was fulfilling, and it kind of like faded when I became a teacher. So yeah.
Very good. Next question is, what is something not many people know about you?
Ooh, oh, I love to read tarot cards. Like I love to have tarot card nights. That's a lot of people don't know that about me. I'm actually an introvert. A lot of people think because, you know, when you post things online and you're like part of the artistic world, like, you know, art becomes your business, right? So you have to look at like how people would want to connect with you and support your art and brand your art. But and doing television or radio, like I'm always out there, right? But to me, I really rest the most when I have alone time. I need to have alone time every day in order to recharge. And I think a lot of people confuse introversion with being shy. You know, I'm not shy, but I need alone time. I need to be alone in order to be by my best self. Other than that, oh, I love to garden. Actually, I've found a new like passion for gardening. Yeah, so say those are 3 things about me.
Very interesting for sure. Next one. Next question, Oli. What's the happiest day in your life so far, and why you consider that?
Oh, the happiest day in my life. I would say, aside from meeting the love of my life, I would say, I think recently when my niece was born, I think that was really a life-changing experience. Even though like I don't have a kid yet, like it's something I would like to have a kid one day. But I think like, you know, when there's a child in your life, the perspective on things change, you know, and I think that like that was really a turning moment for me. Yeah.
Saying that about, you mentioned about the love of your life. So far, what's the most beautiful lesson you've learned from him?
Oh, never go to bed angry. Always solve your problems. Don't go to bed like in each room, different rooms, like always solve your things. And like, you know, you never know what's going to happen in life, you know, like, and I think like to not hold a grudge and solve things and work through things is important, and to go to bed with not with a heavy heart, but with a light heart, and like feeling loved and feeling that everything is completed, that you don't have any regrets or no unfinished business. I think that's the most important thing I've learned from him. And also to have more fun and not be so work driven. Like, he really balances me out in ways that like I can be such a workaholic, but like he really brings the like inner child / fun things in me. Definitely. Yep.
Very good. Like you.
Oh.
next, next question. Before the next question, tell me a little bit about your career on TV and on the radio as a columnist. You say it's all about the LGBTQ community.
Yes, well, basically it's for the longest time I've been researching and learning more about the community. Like it's a community I'm part of, and it's always been important for me to give back. And again, it always goes back to teaching. You're in school, and as a teacher, you always question about how you can help more, right? And how you can do more. And for me to, when I joined the show Outlook TV, my main reason was to go and continue to educate. I see it as like, I'm still a teacher, but I have a different platform. And I feel the same way with my art. Whenever I do my art, I always have a message behind my art and exhibition that I want people to come and learn from it. So I think no matter what, even though like art is my passion, or radio or TV, I think it's always a teacher in me that is the drive behind everything, right? And yeah, so when I joined the TV, what we do with Outlook TV, we're actually a group of volunteers. So we're not paid for it at all. Like we, in Canada, we travel around. Some people are more local. Like I travel from Vancouver to, I've done Montreal and Quebec City, and we support queer people in having a platform that is mainstream, basically. A lot of people don't get the visibility to be seen, or don't get a first chance at getting interviewed or getting their work seen. So we focus a lot on community-based events, but also whenever there's like bigger events happening in Canada, we also had celebrities or like drag race stars or queer identifying artists. So like it's basically like where everybody is on the same kind of level, but where what everyone has in common is to be from the community and doing something in Canada. So yeah, so that's basically what the story about. And whenever I do radio, or if I'm in, or I do panels or panel discussion, like it's really more about like how to support children, and like looking more at like the influence of social media on queer realities is kind of more my my area of expertise, let's say.
Very good. Next question is, which book had a big influence on you?
Oh, I think Tales of the City by Armistead Maupin. I hope I say it properly. Sorry, sometimes my little French accent ruins names, and I don't mean it in any bad way. Yeah, Tales of the City. I think it was, I had heard about that book, that queer book, when I was 15 years old. And one day I actually had to do a book report at school and I decided to do it on that book. And I think I was like 15 or 16 going in front of the entire class. And I was in a private school for boys only, like a Catholic school. And I was like, I'm reading Tales of the City. Like this whole, like all the kids in the classroom were like, what? And the teacher was like, oh, but like nobody kind of clued in. And I was just kind of like, went around like and talked about everything but the topic, because it was still like 2000, like the year around 2000-ish, you know? So it was, things were better, but it still kind of like was still not like as mainstream as things are now. So I think that book had a big influence on me for discovering queer literature, but also for like, I think it was a big, not a step, but like a defining moment in things that I was gonna do with my life, and trying to like bring forward topics and put myself in positions that would be a bit controversial in a way with what I'm saying. Not that it's controversial, but like, you know, speaking about things publicly that like do not always have a consensus, let's say. So I think it was like a defining, when I look back at it, like now that you're asking that question, I never really thought about it. Like it really was kind of like foreshadowing what my life would be like.
Ollie, and saying that about being a gay guy, did you always have the support of your family?
Yeah, I think for most of my life, I had support from everybody. Like I always had I know a lot of people who did not have a roof over their head, and I always had a roof over my head. And there's definitely been ups and downs, like for everybody coming out, especially back in the days. But my family adore my partner. Like we have a very inclusive family that way. I think there was just like a little dip, but back up, and things have been really, really great. Things have been amazing. My parents have always supported me, my sister as well, all my relatives. Like I never felt any exclusion. I've had more people saying like, oh, like why didn't you tell me before? And I think it's just like I just wasn't really ready or didn't really know the words, you know what I mean? But still today, like my partner is like part of the family, and then we've had other people doing coming outs in the family. And no, in that regard, I think I've had it pretty good compared to many people, and it's not because I had it good that like I take that for granted, and like I want to keep supporting those who may not have had it as good as I did. So I'm really thankful that it's happened to me, but it doesn't mean that it's like happy family everywhere, right? So,
of course. Very good. Next question for you, Ollie. Let's do it. Next question is, if you could meet yourself when you were 15 years old again, which advice would you give to yourself?
Oh, not to care about what everybody else says and just do my thing. I think I've held back on a lot of things in my life because I was too worried of disappointing people. And I just tried to fit into a mold or doing things not to ruffle any feathers. And no, exactly, just to that, like, it's okay to be me, and I don't have to change who I am in terms of fitting in. I think also in the queer community, we always try to put people into boxes, and that you have to behave a certain way. You have to like wear specific things, you have to be a specific weight, you have to go to this party, otherwise you're not cool, right? And I think I've let myself around 15 to 20-ish years old, like in maybe early 20s, go into ways that are not who I am. Like deep down who I am, like as I said, I'm an introverted person. I like gardening, I like to be at home, like I have to have my partner, and that doesn't make me somebody who does not fit in the community, right? So I think back then, like I think I've accepted things that I shouldn't have, to try to please and to try to fit in. And that would say to that 15 years old that like building your own path is what is going to make you successful, not following others' footsteps. But at 15 you seek approval from everybody, right? So yeah,
I think when you are 15 years old, you are going through a lot of emotions, puberty, so a lot of things happening with yourself. So it's always a challenge moment, a challenge period of our lives, for sure, in a way.
Yeah, sure. No, totally.
Right. I have 3 questions left for you, okay?
Okay. Right. You're making me feel like my inner Paula Abdul. I'm it's like good. Back, like like in the 90s or something. I love it.
Actually, this one is the 90s song, at the beginning of the 2000s, more or less, a Brazilian music. You see, you have good ears with music.
You're the first one who said that about me, so I'll take it. I mean, look at you, all of those who think I can't sing. I know my notes.
Oli, before the next question, tell me what the best part of living in Montreal, and of course, there's always a challenging part as well, what that would be.
Of living in Montreal? I think it's to immerse yourself in so many different cultures. in terms of art. Like for me, when I think of like living in Montreal, because I don't live there anymore, right? So I see it as being a tourist when I go. So I had the experience of living there, but also now of like looking at it from a completely brand new perspective. And I think that it's the art scene, is the vibrance of the art scene to like, and how accessible it is and inexpensive it is. And when you immerse yourself in art, you understand a lot about society and you talk about things, and issues come to the front. And maybe that's why Montreal is also very political, because there's also a lot of art. You see a lot of it through people's expressions. And yeah, so just to go and like go to the ballet and go to the opera and like be able to go into some random art show on the street and like, but from different cultures, from different accent point of views, that's what I really like about Montreal, is that vibrantness and also the bluntness of Montreal. Montreal is very blunt, you know, like, and I'm saying this with all the love in the world because I'm from there, so I know I'm like that. And then sometimes it's gotten me a little bit in trouble here because I just say what I say and what I think, and I'm just like, that's what it is. And I'm just like, and people are like, oh, I can't believe you said that. And part of me is just like, that's kind of like what I'm used to, you know, that's how it goes. But I like that about Montreal, that like, you know what's up. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like a hidden secret.
Very good. Next question is, are you a cat or a dog person? And if you could be an animal, what that would be?
Oh my goodness. I don't know if I'm a dog. I've had both, but I love both actually. Okay, I'm gonna give you a politician answer, you know. I like affectionate animals. Like I like to cuddle. Like I really am a cuddly person and loving person. So I love to like take care of somebody or a pet, or like, you know, that's almost like I want kids, or like I want to be like, I'm somebody who likes to pamper people, and like whenever there's animal, like I really like to take care of them. So I like a dog, but I've had a very affectionate cat, but I also have a cat at my parents' house that my parents kept because she hates me with a passion and won't let me approach her. So I guess because I left and like she resents me or something. I don't know what it is, but no, but I don't know. I think I will go with dog, but I'm also a very independent person that I don't know if I could walk a dog everywhere all the time. That way I'm more of a cat person. So I would say an affectionate cat is my answer. After all, an affectionate cat. Also, what animal I would be? Ooh. I love giraffes. I think they're so cool. I love that they have a purple tongue. I think it's so fancy. I'm like, you are so artistic looking. I don't know. They just always look so happy, but also like, I don't care. I don't know. I like giraffes. And then, because I'm not super tall, so I think I'll be able to see everything from like being tall, you know, and be like, oh, like I'm a giraffe. I can see everything. I can see what's happening. So, and I look fabulous. So I think I would be a giraffe. Yeah.
They're very artistic, you know, very fabulous with their tongue and their, you know what I mean, way of standing.
That's right. That's perfect. So that fits perfectly for me.
2 questions left. Let's do it. Okay, Oli from Canada. Next question is, what do you think people need to know about each other before they get married?
Ooh, what do you know about each other before they get married? Oh, I don't know. But that's a good question. I think they're boundaries. You know, I think people need to know each other boundaries and who they like, basically what triggers them, or like what they like and what's their limit, you know. My partner and I actually we're friends. We were living apart for the first 4 years of our relationship, and I think it was the best thing that could have happened, because I think that we also took the time to know each other, and we also developed a really good friendship prior to living together and like be full-time together. So I think my answer would be more that like really take the time to know people's boundaries, but actually make sure you're friends as well. You know what I mean? Like that it's great, like the love and the romance and everything. It's amazing. It's a great part of it. But also that like you're comfortable enough with your partner to open up in ways you would open up to a best friend. And if you feel that that your partner cannot be your best friend, maybe you need to work on the foundations first.
Very good. The message is out there.
Yeah, that's right. All these words of wisdom of the day.
Beautiful. Ready for the last one?
Yes, of course.
Let's do it. Last question. Oli, before the last question, being a teacher, I think it's a gift, something very beautiful, because, I was talking to someone earlier on in the interview, and he was saying how grateful he was for one of his teachers. I believe that always teachers, they leave a signature in our lives. Some marks that are going to be there forever. Sometimes even myself, when I think about some teachers in the past, I go like, oh my God, I'm so grateful for, to have them through my life, because they always leave a big impact in our lives. Saying that, of course, as well, being a teacher, you always learn with your students. There's always lessons and surprise lessons as well. For you, when you look back in your career, there is like a lesson that you said, okay, I'm so thankful or grateful that I've learned that with one of my students for some reason or a situation that you could share?
I think that being a teacher is being a human being. And I think what I learned about over the years in being a teacher is that it's not about the mark students get. It's not about how good they are at spelling. It's not about how good they are at math. It's about how you connect with an individual that lets you in enough that they are comfortable making mistakes around you. That getting a bad mark does not mean that like your stress level has to go up there because they fear the person. I think what I learned from the students is really that we need to be open to each other and like not work on not see life as a hierarchy, that like I don't go into teaching every day having a desk in front of the kids in rows. Like I don't have a teacher's desk, for let's say, and I have the kids in tables and I sit with them and I change spots, because I don't want them to see me as this is my show, this is me, and then there's you. And I think over the years, switching to that approach was really because of that connection, that human connection with people, and building a better place together and taking time to listen. And so I think that's like the overall thing. And also that like when you are close to them, it's easy also to show a vulnerable side of me as well, and to work on myself as well, and be like, look, I'm also here to grow. I'm also a human being that can learn from you, and I think this is like the biggest step as a teacher, is to like let go of that control. So I think that I learn a lot actually of like in a space that would come across very controlling, learning to uncontrol in order to let people be and grow as human beings.
Good. Ready for the last one?
Yes.
Let's do it. Last question is, what is a negative thing that happened to you that came out as a positive thing in the end?
A negative thing that's turned out as a positive. Oh gosh. What would be a negative thing? I think like a lot of like, I'll say you're talking about teachers and things in life, right? Like I think growing up, I didn't really get a lot of support from all of my I mean, I've had amazing teachers, but I also had a lot of people not necessarily believing in me. You know what I mean? Or like making me feel like I was making the wrong choice. Like saying like, oh, my art is not good enough, or like my pieces are not good enough, or like, oh, I'm not strong enough in school to become a teacher. You know, like you need, because I wasn't the best in school. You know, a lot of people think that like becoming a teacher means that like you always were studious all your life. Like, no, like I was struggling to pass, you know. And same with when I did my art degree, like I didn't have the best technique. I was one of the weakest in the classroom, 100%. But I think that like to really believe in yourself, you know, to be like, I'm not going to settle for that, and I will follow my dreams and not let like what people's opinions and views affect me. Well, of course it affected me for a while, you know. Now I'm in my late 30s, so it's a little different than when I was 15 or like, you know, 20. But definitely I think that like having so much resistance really gave me the drive to build my own path and maybe explore avenues that like wouldn't fit the regular traditional mold of having, let's just say, just being a teacher in a public eye. Like, I mean, usually teachers stay at school. Like, I mean, not say that that's the case, but like, you know, like I live like a public life as an artist, also being a public school teacher. So right there is not conventional, because usually you don't see like kids as teachers on TV or on radio or like doing art. So I think for the longest time I was like, no, I can't do that, and I can't do that, or I'll get in trouble, or I can do this. And then just kind of like go in a positive, saying, you know what, this is me, like this is what I want to do, like, you know, like what's gonna happen, you know. So yeah, so I think that's what the negative to the positive.
Good. Right, it's not the end yet. Let's play now the word association game. Okay, I'm going to give away some words. Just tell one word that comes to your mind. Quick thinking. So, I hope you are enjoying the interview. Before we do the word association game, don't forget to give a like, don't forget to share this video, and also don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Just click on the button right there. Thank you so much and enjoy the word association game. Let's start with family.
Family, care.
Money.
Filth.
One word for one word for love.
Love, friendship.
Life.
Journey.
Sex.
Passion.
Politics.
Conflicts.
Religion.
Conflicts.
Fear.
Goals.
Friendship.
Gold.
Desire.
Passion.
Regrets.
I would say hunting, like something that's hunting you.
Success.
Happiness.
Wish.
Pardon me?
Wish.
Wish. Goal.
One word for happiness.
Happiness is simplicity.
One word for Montreal.
Art.
One word for Canada.
Diversity.
One word for teacher.
Patience.
And the last one now, artist.
Voice.
Amazing. Let's pretend now I'm going to meet your lovely partner for a coffee, and I'm going to ask him, tell me the most beautiful thing about Oli, and tell me something that he still needs to improve on, to work on. What do you think he'll tell me?
The thing, oh gosh, the most, it's really hard to talk about yourself, right? Like in those regards, like I'm like, oh, you see, I think that's the one thing he will say is that I cannot take a compliment, and I cannot talk. Not that I cannot talk positively about myself, but like I'm very humble in ways that like I will never recognize any of my success. You know, like I still think of the one thing that go wrong. You know, like I'm not one to be like, this is me, look at me, this is awesome. Like I'm always like, are you sure it's okay? You know, like I think that would be something you would say need to work on, and make sure that like I clean after myself. And you know, like, you know, I just don't like to pick up my clothes from next to the side of the bed, or like, you know, but I do, but like, you know, it's not something I have to think like, oh, right, I have to do that. You know, you have to. Also, but something you would like about me, oh, my cooking. I love to cook.
Wow.
Yes.
And what he likes to eat the most that you cook for him? What he likes? What's the best dish?
Oh, he likes when I make him chicken pot pies.
Nice one. Oli, let's play now, Oli, in the magic box, and you can ask me a question. But you can ask me a question now, Oli.
Okay, so if you were to be in the mind of a famous artist for a day, who would it be and why?
Wow, I love the question. Right. You know what? I think I would go for Bangkok.
Okay.
You know why? I think that 3 years ago, before the epidemic started, I went to see his work, one of the exhibition in London, and I didn't know much about him. I didn't know much, and looking through his art, you know what I mean? There was some darkness there as well, but at the same time as well, there was so much color, you know, so the contrast of both, it kind of got my attention. I was with a friend of mine that he loves arts, and he was guiding me a little bit through the gallery because he loves him. And so yes, through the, you know, there was so many like some pictures, some arts that they've done, that it was very dark and very expressive as well of his art. And the other side, there was this, you know, this very famous flower, the sunflower that he got, very, very famous one, and you could see so much light in there, you know. So I like the contrast of both. So I would like to understand, you know what I mean, what was in his mind when he was kind of, you know what I mean, work in both sides, you know what I mean, this kind of not disturbing, light disturbing art with this, and also when he was doing this beautiful, you know what I mean, colorful flowers and all of this, not this flower, but the landscape as well that I saw, it sounds like, wow, that's something very interesting. So yeah, I think I would go for him. I think I would, for sure.
Oh, that's awesome. Wait to see what you paint as Van Gogh.
Yes. Oli, did you have a good time? Did you enjoy the interview?
I had a great time. It was so fun. Like, it was the best way to spend my Sunday morning.
Thank you so much. Thanks for taking the time. I know you are very busy, and you were very kind and took the time for the interview. But just before you go, Oli, if you could just share a positive message or a positive quote, something that inspires in life.
Oh, I would say is the famous quote that education is the most powerful weapon that you can use to change the world.
There we go. And you finishing this beautiful message. Thanks so much for the interview, and we keep in touch, okay? It was a pleasure. Take care.
All right. Thank you.
Bye. So, did you like the show? Don't forget to give a like, share it, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to be part of the show as well, first subscribe to our channel, and after that just go to our website www.williamandthemagicbox.com and send us a request saying why would you like to be part of the show, and I see you there. Bye bye, see you next time.